fortunes are being accumulated in the UK on a scale we haven't seen for 100 years.
We've been told that the way the super-rich create wealth makes all of us, well, a bit better off. But does it? This time around, they've used new and different financial techniques to enrich themselves. And right now, they're the big winners, and we seem to be the losers. I'm going to tell you how the new super-rich are making their fortunes and why we're picking up the bill in a global greed game. In the past few years, the City of London, financial services, have contributed a third of all our economic growth. London is the capital of capital.
London, for the international community, is a beautiful city. A lot of people are living in London that they might find interesting to meet. It's got the restaurants, it's got the clubs, it's got the bars, it's got the decent hotels, it's got the nice houses. It's safe, it's secure. There's a lot going for it.
More than 50 billionaires call Britain home. Not since the 19th century have there been such opportunities for so many to make quite so much money. At least 30,000 Brits now earn more than £500,000 a year. In 2006, 4,200 city executives took a bonus of £1 million or more. And among hedge funds alone, 150 people have been earning more than £20 million a year.
The only other period we have seen similar accumulation was during the Industrial Revolution in the Victorian age, when the whole raft of Victorian industrialists made massive fortunes very quickly. But even that was over a period of 40 or 50 years. This has been in the last 10 years. When you're coming here with several £billion, you travel around in armoured limos guarded by people who look after you. The idea of the congestion charge is wonderful to you because it clears the roads of the riffraff. You can get out to a private airfield quickly to get on your jet to go and see far-flung operations as part of your empire.
And they've created ghettos of fabulously expensive property. This house in North London recently sold for £50 million.
The new owner will be spending probably another up to £30 million creating what will probably be the most desirable house in the world.
And just outside London is this brand new 26-bedroom mansion. It's on the market now for over £70 million, but it's the running costs of over £1 million a year that means only proper billionaires need bother to view it. Even so, the developer, Leslie Allen Verco, tried his best with me.
So this is a private swimming pool, is it simply for the owner of the house?
Unless, of course, the owner of the house wants to allow people to use it. The ensuite swimming pool.
Why would you want 5 pools? Because you've got 5 pools, haven't you, in this house? What family needs 5 pools?
You genuinely need to like swimming. This bathroom area is about 800 square feet. Putting it into perspective, is about the size of the average 2-bedroom flat in London.
That's just for your towels, that room, is it? I feel rather disappointed I haven't got one of those. The size of a decent-sized kitchen for many people. Jewel-encrusted gold taps. It's very good, very nice. Definitely going to have one of these in my home. So how have all these people become super rich in such a short time? Unlike the past, it's not been about finding new resources or exploiting new technology. The answer lies in how they've conjured with money itself.
and they were helped to become wealthy beyond anyone's wildest dreams by a sharp fall in the cost of money for them and all of us, engineered by the US Federal Reserve. It sets interest rates for America and, in a way, for the world. A clear September day. The American economy was already faltering after the bursting of the dot-com bubble, and then the world's most powerful central banker, Alan Greenspan, feared the terrorist outrage would further undermine the confidence of businesses and consumers, so he kept interest rates unusually low.
American interest rates were tonight cut by 0.5%. The Federal Reserve base rate now stands at just 1.25%, the lowest for 41 years.
After the bursting of the dot-com bubble and 9/11, Greenspan slashed rates to just 1%. And the supply of credit soared because the great exporting nations, such as Japan, China, and those of the Middle East, were generating vast surpluses and lent much of their cash to us in the West. Finance is global, so it became cheap to borrow money anywhere. For private individuals, and especially for businesses, tycoons, and financial institutions, they went on the most frenetic borrowing spree the world has seen. With so much money sloshing around, the price of assets, from paintings to houses to entire companies, soared.
£85,000. So
people borrowed more against the inflated value of their assets. The valuation of property, the valuation of shares, art, jewellery, etc., was soaring, and the central banks on the whole said, this is not our business. We don't manage assets. We only manage price inflation.
With markets rising, borrowing vast sums for investment was the route to magnificent fortunes. It's what bankers call using leverage.
Leverage is simply borrowing to invest. You're not investing your own money, or you're investing part of your own money, but you borrow to invest more. So that's leverage is borrowing to invest. When we borrow for a mortgage, we are leveraging. As simple as that.
The power of leverage to multiply profits is a common experience for millions of us who borrow to buy a house. If you put down a £10,000 deposit when buying a £100,000 home and borrow the other £90,000, and that house then rises in value to, say, £110,000, well, your £10,000 doubles to £20,000. You make 100% profit. That's the magic of using the bank's money to finance most of the purchase. And in a rising market, the more you borrow, the greater your profits.
The level of debt that became available for deals became very, very high. And what was really uncomfortable was that not only was it a high level of debt, but every passing month you could get more and more debt.
With debt so cheap, deal makers were borrowing mind-boggling amounts to invest in financial markets, in property, and in commodities, or to buy entire companies.
Banks were willing to lend on multiples that they'd never known before. The past 5-6 years have been unprecedented in terms of cheap debt, quite frankly. And have we benefited from that? Absolutely. You know, I would rather be lucky than clever every time. So we'll take every bit of luck that's going our way.
And for Tom Hunter, Britain was a pretty good place to be, because since 1997, Labour has tried to make the United Kingdom a land fit for the new super-rich.
Well, I think, first of all, you've got to thank your lucky stars if you are an economy which has the vibrant and successful industries